Elena Thompson was 34 years old, living in Seattle, Washington. She worked at a mid-sized company as an internal reports preparer. Elena had always believed in doing things ethically and honestly, but when her boss started asking her to adjust some numbers, she felt conflicted. Her boss had been under a lot of pressure lately, so the implication was clear: fudge the data to make their department look better. Elena knew it was unethical and could backfire badly on everyone. Instead of confronting her boss or outright refusing, she decided to play it smart. She completed the report accurately and submitted it up the chain, CCing her boss and making sure everything was properly documented and timestamped. She saved all relevant emails and messages just in case. Sure enough, leadership noticed the numbers didn't match what her boss had previously promised. When questions started coming in, her boss tried to throw Elena under the bus, claiming she misunderstood her instructions, but everything was in writing. Elena had the emails, the original data, the final report, everything. Once she shared the records with HR, it was clear who was lying. Later, her boss was gone. Officially, she resigned, but everyone knew it wasn't voluntary. Elena didn't raise her voice or make a scene. She just did her job right and let her boss take the fall for trying to manipulate the truth. Elena's world seemed stable again until one day, a new colleague joined the company. His name was Alex, and he quickly became Elena's nemesis. He started questioning her work and making unfounded accusations. At first, Elena tried to explain everything patiently, but as time went on, she realized that Alex was trying to undermine her reputation. Elena began to face a series of hurdles. She tried to address the issues with higher-ups, but they seemed more interested in smoothing things over than addressing the root cause. Each time she presented evidence, it was dismissed or ignored. Elena felt increasingly unsatisfied with how things were handled. It wasn't fair that her hard work and ethical approach were being questioned. Alex's actions started to create a threat to Elena's career. She found herself working harder to prove her worth, but every step forward seemed to be met with setbacks. One day, Alex even went so far as to spread rumors about Elena in the company's internal chat. This time, Elena was pushed too far. Elena decided she needed to take matters into her own hands. She started meticulously documenting every interaction and piece of evidence that could support her case. She also reached out to a few trusted colleagues who had seen firsthand how Alex was behaving. Each of them provided valuable insights and support. One day, Alex made a particularly egregious mistake. He forwarded an email from Elena's boss to the whole company, falsely claiming she had been responsible for the recent data discrepancies. Elena knew this was her chance. She carefully compiled all the evidence she had collected over the past few months, emails, documents, and conversations, and submitted it to HR. The meeting with HR was tense. Alex tried to argue his case, but Elena's documentation left him in a weak position. The truth came out, and Elena's reputation was vindicated. However, despite all her efforts, the atmosphere at work had changed. Colleagues who used to respect her now seemed wary, and some openly gossiped behind her back. Elena knew she needed to make one final attempt to solve this problem. She decided to confront Alex directly during a team meeting. She stood up, clear and firm in her voice, and told everyone the truth about what had happened. She revealed all the evidence, including the emails and documents that proved her innocence and exposed Alex's lies. Alex tried to deny everything but couldn't. The entire department was stunned by Elena's courage and honesty. Afterward, some colleagues approached her with gratitude, recognizing how she had handled the situation. However, others continued to whisper and gossip. In a moment of vulnerability, Elena realized that no matter what happened next, she had done the right thing. She left work early that day, feeling a mix of relief and exhaustion. As she walked home through Seattle's bustling streets, she felt a sense of fulfillment knowing she had stood up for herself and her values. The story didn't end there, though. One evening, as Elena was browsing social media, she saw Alex's profile with an unexpected twist. He had started a blog detailing his side of the story, accusing Elena of being unethical and manipulative. The comments were scathing, and it seemed like things might get worse. Elena felt a surge of anger but also determination. She decided to write her own blog post, sharing more about her experience and what she had learned. This time, though, instead of just documenting the facts, Elena focused on how her actions had helped her grow as a person. She emphasized the importance of ethical behavior in the workplace and how it could set an example for others. Her post went viral, gaining support from people across the city. Many commented that Elena's story inspired them to stand up for their values too. Over time, Elena's reputation not only recovered, but also grew stronger. She felt a sense of fulfillment knowing she had turned a difficult situation into something positive. In the end, Elena Thompson was no longer just someone who did her job right. She became an advocate for honesty and integrity in the workplace. Her story served as a reminder that sometimes, taking the harder path can lead to unexpected rewards.